Hi everyone, Aidan here at the etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at and be showing you how to install these Pewag Snox self-tensioning snow tire chains on our 2022 Ford Maverick. This is going to be on tire size 225, 65 R17, and per the owner's manual, they're going to be on the rear tires. Now looking closely at the links, you'll see that they have a square shape to them, and really all that means is they've got these hard edges and they're going to be better at biting into ice and give you great traction still in deep snow. Compared to something like a twisted link or even a cable, these will be much better for icy conditions. And they're going to be a diamond pattern, so across the tire you'll see the links forming these diamond shapes. And really all that means is it's going to give you a smoother ride because we've got much more consistent contact between the tire chain and the road. And it's going to give you better traction on turns. Whereas something like a ladder pattern, where the links are going to be just going across the tire in parallel lines, those will be better for starts and stops, but also be a bumpier ride. So these are going to be self-tensioning, which just means that they're constantly pulling and applying pressure to the chain, ensuring it fits snug on the tire. Now the way it does that is pretty unique. There is a clip in the front that does apply some tension, but most of it's around behind the tire where there's a thick elastic cord that goes pretty much the whole diameter of the chain, and that's going to be essentially pulling it tight. We'll see that a bit more during the install process, but just know that it's going to be really nice because you don't have to pick up any separate tensioners to apply that tension to the chain. As far as material choices go, the main links are going to be a manganese nickel alloy steel, which just means that they're a lot more corrosion resistant than something like a low carbon steel. So you can count on these lasting for many seasons and still being good to use without rusting. And all the touch points around or pieces that might come into contact with the wheel are going to be coated or have these plastic bumpers so that you don't have to worry about metal on metal contact with your wheels. These chains are sold in a pair and come with this soft shell carrying case. The soft shell is pretty nice. I think it's going to be fairly durable, but the nice thing about it is the chains fit back in here really well. You've got a mesh bag on either side for each chain, so whenever they go back into the bag for storage, it's not going to be making a mess inside your vehicle, and it's pretty easy to keep this on hand, ready to go for those emergency situations. Now the install process for these is pretty unique. It's a little bit more involved because you do have to rotate the tire a bit to complete the install, whereas some other chains you can complete just while it's sitting still here. For me, I think it's maybe a little bit more work, but the result is a really nice fit, and I honestly do like how these are sitting. It's a very low profile chain and it's a very snug fit, so no complaints from me there. And the process isn't too complicated, so we'll go ahead and walk you through that process now so you can see what it looks like. So for the installation here, really the only thing you need to do is make sure that the chain isn't too tangled up and find this large plastic piece with the Pewag logo on it. That's going to be the top as we're attaching this, and this elastic band is going to go around the back of the tire. So I'll set this up in place and just drape it over. And you're just going to start the process of stretching that cord over and around the tire all the way down. And before I get too far, I do want to also point out that there is going to be a small window here with a picture of a car and an arrow facing forward. These are directional, so you want that to be facing forward the way the tires are going to be turning. And I will press this button and pull out this plate here. And then whenever we're fully attached, I'll reattach that, and that's going to basically be our self-tensioning system. But I'll just continue the path around the tire, pretty much getting as much as I can around before hopping in the vehicle and driving forward a little bit to get this remaining bottom section. With the tire flipped around basically 180 degrees, I can just go ahead and put the rest of this cord behind the tire. And you might find that it's not sitting super centered. If you can lift it into place and get it centered up manually, that's great. You might find that you have to roll back over or just drive over them a few times to get them to self-adjust, to relieve some pressure there, and then clip it in. All right, so that buckle is gonna be pretty stiff, but if you pull out a bit to stretch that cord, that's gonna make it a bit easier, but these are a really snug fit. And once you've repeated that process on the other side, you're ready to hit the road. I would recommend maybe coming out and checking on them after driving for a little bit just to make sure that everything's all good. But with these being self-tensioning, if you're on the side of the road when you install these and you're really not able to stop again, you should be okay. But that'll do it for our look at and installation of the Pewag Snox self-tensioning snow tire chains on our 2022 Ford Maverick. Thanks for watching.